Whoa, 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 welcome to Mash on This, Mashable's daily culture and entertainment show that gives you tomorrow's biggest news stories today. Boo! I'm your host, Lou Dobbs, made from recycled Diva cups, also known as Dory Greenberg. On Mash on This, we give you a quick rundown of what we think is the best the internet has to offer, so be sure to tell us what you think in the comments, and we'll get to them at the end of the show. Don't be shy now. Hey, let's get into it. Former Chicago Bulls star and Walking Dare poster Dennis Rodman might have just crossed the line between basketball diplomacy and actual diplomacy. He's still over in North Korea hoping for some bro time with his homie Kim Jong-un, and while he was waiting, he presented some gifts to North Korea's Minister of Sports. The most surprising of which was a copy of Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal. Considering that Rodman firmly stated that he was in Pyongyang for purely personal reasons, and the fact that the U.S. State Department has vehemently denied any connection to his trip, this gift was shocking, to say the least. Trump's book, which came out in 1987, outlines the Donald's tips for how to hyperbolize and tell innocent lies and generally try to outsmart someone into cutting a deal with him. So why would Dennis Rodman give away all of Trump's negotiating secrets to a man who is, at this very moment, working on a missile that can destroy New York City? How will Kim Jong-un receive this, frankly, kind of crappy gift? Because let's be honest, it's no PlayStation VR. What do you think about all of this? Holler in the comments. It's no secret that Netflix has revolutionized the way we consume entertainment these days, but what is a secret is that Netflix has a hidden limit for how much of its content you can download from its mobile app. And for those of you watching who are surprised to hear that you can even download Netflix movies and shows at all, newsflash, you can! And it's awesome, especially for long trips when the likelihood of good internet is questionable to non-existent. But these downloads have an expiration date, forcing users to re-download if they aren't done watching. And apparently Netflix has a cap on how many times you can download certain pieces of content. And according to Android Police, Netflix doesn't even tell you about this limit until you're almost out of downloads. And no one on the outside is truly sure what the limit is, but likely varies based on who owns what piece of content. It's assumed to be a fairly low number, probably 4 to 5 total downloads per year, until you get metaphorically slapped in the face with an error message. And while it isn't a real slap, it still stings just as hard, because Mama needs her content. Mama's very sick, and her watching Arrested Development for the 300th time is the only thing that can cure me. Oh, where's my blanket? Here at MASH on This, we are big fans of the sometimes romantic, sometimes appalling, always self-gratifying reality franchise, The Bachelor, which also includes the spin-offs The Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise. But we understand that the rest of the Mashable audience might not like it as much as we do, so we've avoided discussing the controversy surrounding this summer's Bachelor in Paradise season on this show. However, it's gotten so out of hand that we feel it is necessary to share with y'all now. Here's what we know so far. Just 1 week into filming, production was suspended indefinitely due to some unspecified sexual misconduct. And Warner Brothers, the production company behind BIP, is currently conducting a thorough investigation of these allegations. According to several media reports, the stem issues from 2 contestants, Corinne Olympios and Demario Jackson, getting extremely inebriated and having explicitly sexual relations in a pool, while some producers let the cameras continue rolling. According to Los Angeles Times reporter Amy Kaufman, both Corinne and Demario have obtained attorneys. Corinne told People that she is a victim and knows that something bad obviously took place, while Demario told E! News that his character and family name has been assassinated with false claims and malicious allegations. A true he said, she said situation for a franchise that is no stranger to scandals. But it feels a little different this time because of the seriousness of the allegations. Sarah and I often analyze the Bachelor shows and regularly question the role alcohol plays in all of them, not just this season of BIP, because as viewers, we never see the contestants eat, yet we always see them drinking non-stop. There's something inherently wrong with that. However, the fate of the current season and the series as a whole remains unclear. But what do y'all think about this story? Let us know in the comments. I have a hair in my eyeball. Better. Hey, it takes a lot of guts to stand up to someone who is a leading, influential figure in your line of work. But being the ballsy lady that she is, Elizabeth Banks has called out a big-time A-lister Hollywood director for his lack of female leading roles in his films. And that person is Steven freaking Spielberg. According to The Wrap, last night, Banks, the triple threat actress, director, producer, who is receiving an honor for excellence in feature directing for her work on Pitch Perfect 2, name-shamed Steven Spielberg while on stage. Banks said, quote, "I went to Indiana Jones and Jaws and every movie Steven Spielberg ever made. He's never made a movie with a female lead. Sorry, Steven, I don't mean to call your ass out, but it's true." End quote. And while her intentions for throwing this major league shade are good, her statements simply were not factually accurate. Vulture reported that in 1974, Spielberg's second film, The Sugarland Express, starred Goldie Hawn, but he didn't make another female leading feature until 9 years later with The Color Purple. After that, it took another 32 years for Spielberg to make a little girl his main character in the BFG. Yes, his upcoming drama, The Paper, stars Meryl Streep, but it will be his first film to star an adult woman since 1985. So bottom line, Elizabeth Banks is only partially right. Because when you think about it, 3 out of 30 movies with an adult female lead over the course of half a century is a terrible track record and deserves to be on blast. Guys, there is nothing more metal than unnecessary litigation. Yeah, woo! See what I'm doing here? These fingies? It is commonly referred to as a devil's horn, as a signature hand gesture for the genre of rock and roll. And for some reason, Gene Simmons decided that he should have ownership of this hand gesture and filed an application to trademark it under his name, claiming that he was the first person to use it commercially in 1974 during the band Kiss's Hotter Than Hell tour. There's a lot of things wrong with this, so let's break it all down. First of all, Gene Simmons' thumb placement is all wrong. When the thumb is out, it becomes the American Sign Language word for I love you. When the thumb is in, then it is definitely devil's horns, which is supposed to convey rock on. It's way more metal than signing I love you. Secondly, the prog rock band Coven had an album come out in 1969, 5 years before the Kiss tour, that shows the band members with the devil's horns. Thirdly, while Gene Simmons claims to be the first guy to do it, the man who is credited for making it a rock and roll institution is heavy metal god Ronnie James Dio. So if anyone deserves to be formally associated with the gesture, it should be him. And finally, it's honestly kind of douchey to place a dollar value on something like this. Rock and roll is for the people, and the devil's horns are for the fans. So the thought of invoicing someone for using it feels so corrupt and like icky. What do you think about Gene Simmons' attempt to exploit this symbol? Let us know in the comments. Keep rocking in the free world. So this next video has had our producer, Sarah, in tears all day. Seriously, she is like sobbing over there in the director's chair. Honestly, I'm a little embarrassed for her. Anyway, it's a feel-good story about perseverance, bravery, and overcoming the odds. Meet Buddy, a 9-year-old golden retriever who has been coming to Lucky Puppy Daycare Center in Michigan for about 10 years and has never swam before. So grab your fullest box of tissues and take a look.
Buddy's been coming here for like 10 years. Well, ever since we opened, pretty much. And he never swims. Oh, he just chickened out. Christine's so good at getting him to swim. Oh, look at that, Buddy Bacher. Way to go, Bud. That is huge. You guys have no idea how huge this is.
Yes, good job, Buddy. Listen, I'm not a monster for not crying. I just happen to cry at different things. But for real, you guys, like if you could see Sarah right now, she's got mascara running down her face. It's really gross. Get it together, woman.